I had to wait a couple of days and let it settle in a little bit before delivering this review of the latest Star Wars movie, Solo: A Star Wars Story. But now that it's settled in, I feel ready to deliver. Spoilers alert ahead, coming up in this episode of Quick Clips. I left the movie very disappointed, and I don't think I had the same feeling even when I left the cinema after Attack of the Clones. At least at the end of episode 2, there was some excitement when all the Star Destroyers were leaving the planet. But yes, Solo can only be described as a big disappointment. Now, to be clear, I'm not a big Star Wars fan. I enjoy watching the movie. I don't follow books, comic books, nor animated series. My knowledge of the Star Wars universe is based on the films only, and maybe that's where the lack of understanding or the lack of believing in Solo is missing, because I don't really know more than what the movie have delivered. But let me go straight into it and let you know what I didn't like and what I did like of Solo: A Star Wars Story. I didn't like the fact that there was no journey for me in the movie. At least on Rogue One I was taken on Jyn Erso's and all the rebels' journey, even knowing that they would get those plans out to Leia, but I didn't know how they did it and what happened. Solo wanted to show me how Han got the Millennium Falcon. Could be something more lame and boring than the way they did it? No, it was uneventful and bland. And not even Ron Howard managed to add the so much needed salt and pepper to make the script work and to give some excitement to the story. The script is a big problem of Solo: Star Wars Story. Jonathan and Lawrence Kasdan fought their way to get their script done the way they wanted against Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. But was there something to save? Was there something to keep? So I wonder what Phil and Chris would have done. Maybe not the boring stuff that Ron Howard did, who, by the way, comes out from 2 catastrophic movies, Inferno and The Heart of the Sea. I don't understand all the fuss around Lando Calrissian, who was meant to be this pansexual character. But honestly, apart of some romantic references with his android, I didn't see any pansexual innuendos there. And talking about L337, what the hell was going on there? Honestly, she felt so unnatural. Not only the voice, but also the movement of the droid felt so wrong, and I didn't get it. Not one joke she made was funny. In my opinion, worst droid in Star Wars history. Emilia Clarke as Kira also didn't make the cut for me. No substance. Woody Harrelson was just being Woody in a costume party in Hollywood. And don't get me started with Paul Bettany, an evil guy that I'm speechless. I don't even know how to describe it. And don't get me started with Kathleen Kennedy. She wants all this strong female character, and I'm happy with it. I'd love to see strong female character in Star Wars, but Kathleen Kennedy needs to go and learn what a strong female character means. It's not what she's creating now. Honestly, L337 sexual innuendos towards Lando, or whatever they had going on there, it was just uncomfortable. And it wasn't showing like, oh, there is a female droid, wow, cool, she is strong and she is amazing. No, it made her feel like, oh yeah, hippie, I'm going and I'm against this, and I'm like, it's not what strong female characters are. Not by adding, I'm fighting for a cause, it means I am a strong female character. She was lacking of conviction, and that's what it is. Her character was lacking of everything that a strong female character would have brought, the diversity, the different mind concept that a female has. And yeah, you can put a female character into a droid and make it stand out, but not in that way, while diminishing her with these lame jokes. And also Walt Beckett was another female character. She sacrificed herself in the 5-minute screen she had, but for nothing. She kills herself to blow up this bridge for nothing, because everything went to waste. That's not a strong female character. You have to make the result of an action be strong and have an impact. The big thing that was not right for me was the soundtrack. Every single movie of Star Wars, every single one has an amazing soundtrack. John Williams managed to create for each one of them a fantastic theme, a fantastic soundtrack that you can listen on a CD and it's fun to listen. Even in Rogue One, Michael Giacchino managed to take the essence of what John Williams created and create a soundtrack that was very Star Warsy. But here, John Williams created this theme for Han Solo that was like super lame. And then John Powell composed the rest, and he didn't get it. He didn't get how a soundtrack of Star Wars works. And yeah, I'm all for trying to create something new, but this new didn't work. Coming back to the story, there was the Kessel Run, which supposedly was meant to be this fantastic discovery what the Kessel Run exactly is. Especially for me, that I watch only the movies, and I don't know if this has been treated in books or comic books. I don't know. And so for me it was like, oh, let's finally see what this Kessel Run is. And it was the lamest thing ever. They have to fly through this nebula and fly through all these flying objects. It was not exciting at all. Then suddenly they stop and say, oh, what's that? And then you see again an eye opening, and it's like a big monster like with tentacles trying to stop it. And so what they do, they kind of try to push this thing, this creature into this black hole. And then suddenly it looked like Star Trek, the first one. You know, when the Enterprise is trying to fly away from the black hole created by Nero's spaceship and the red substance and all this tentacle. It looked exactly the same. So I wonder if J.J. Abrams is involved in this script and yeah, here I have an idea how you can end this Kessel Run here. And then they drop like these things into the engine, and then they had this big explosion, and the Enterprise did the same by ejecting the core, and then they got pushed further. Exactly the same. So I'm like, really, WTF? So, but now I spoke a lot about what I didn't like, and it's the biggest part of this quick clip. But let me go and tell you what I liked of Solo, a Star Wars story. What I liked is not much. At the beginning, the title, Solo, a Star Wars story, is much better than Rogue One. And also what I did like is Alden Ehrenreich's performance. After all this bad press saying he cannot act, blah, blah, blah. Well, he's not the most amazing actor out there. But I think his performance kinda saved the movie a little bit, just a tiny bit. I understand what he did there. He didn't want to be a copy of Harrison Ford and mimicking him or making a caricature of him. He understood who Han Solo is. And he made it his own version of it, but still keeping in mind who Han Solo is going to be in the future movies. And so towards the end, he got there. He had a couple of expressions, a couple of things that were Han Solo. It was, for me, believable. So this is it for this story. So go and watch it if you feel like it. I know there is a lot of people that are like boycotting it and say no more Star Wars, and maybe they're right. But you know, if you wanna make your own mind, and you know, everybody has a different mind, has a different opinion, so please go out there and watch it. Feel free to let me know what you think about Solo, a Star Wars story. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Or is there anything that you liked about it, a special scene, just let me know in the comment section below. And feel free to come on social media, Twitter and Instagram at Enny and Z, and say hi. That would be nice, we could start a conversation. Until next time, ciao!